Hey everyone, it's Gahul. Um, I'm doing a new format. I used to do the angry movie reviews, where I put on a hat, and get all angry. But then I saw some other people were doing that too, and I'm like, specifically, I saw fucking some e-girls were doing that. I'm like, man, now it's not cool. So this is the new format. We're calling it mildly angry movie reviews, where I'm gonna sit on my desk with my really fucking shitty camera and talk to you about the movie that I saw and what I thought of it. Today I saw The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. I got the Beekeeper popcorn bag when I went to see The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. Frankly, I saw this movie and I don't know how I express an emotion that's both like extreme disgust but also joy. But that's how I felt about The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. In the movie The Beekeeper, Jason Statham says, I have to protect the hive. I've got to protect the hive. That's a bit more Scottish. I've got to protect the hive. I've got to protect the hive. I've got to protect the hive. About 20 fucking times. And then, at one point, there's a villain, the other beekeeper, because Jason Statham's a retired beekeeper, and now there's a new girl beekeeper who's pink and drives a pink metallic truck while wearing a pink metallic dress and shoots her Gatling gun at Jason Statham. And Jason Statham says, no, and then she says to Jason Statham when she sees him, she says, "You've been a busy little bee. You've been a busy little bee." This is from director David Ayer, who did Fury, which I thought was pretty okay. And hold up, I'm trying to say he's some kind of Suicide Squad. Yeah, hold up. We some kind of Suicide Squad. Yeah, from the Suicide Squad. I would say movies at complete opposite ends. I would consider them both mid movies, but like on the other opposite ends of mid. Like one's like fucking really like Suicide Squad. The fucking first one's terrible. It's a shit fucking movie, and Fury was okay, a bit boring. I had to do a college paper on Fury at one point because we did like in my movie reviews in my film studies class. We had to review movies that were out in the theaters at the time, and I gotta say I was not a fan of Fury. I thought it was quite well. I was okay. It was okay, but we're talking about the Beekeeper. So the plot of the Beekeeper, for those of you who aren't aware, is Jason Statham is the Beekeeper, which is like this. It's John Wick, right? He's like this super soldier, fucking super secret agent who's unstoppable killing machine guy, right? Who is like neighbors with this black woman and has really stilted, awful conversation dialogue with her. And like out of nowhere said to this woman, "You're the only person who's ever really taken care of me before." Because she rents a room to him, I think. Like they don't actually establish why they have a good relationship, which doesn't really matter because it doesn't fucking it's an action movie. But she gets scammed by some elite hackers who get her who call it like it's like a bunch of crypto bros, essentially a bunch of evil crypto bros from the mafia hack into her computer by phishing her and take like a bunch of money, including from this charity she ran. And so because he sees this, she loses all her money, including all the money for them poor kids who need to go to college, all them poor undeveloped kids need to go to college, and then she kills herself over this. And then her daughter works for the FBI, and then she's the other main character, and she like is trying to track down. Jason Statham decides to get revenge, and so she's following Jason Statham to try and stop him from going out of control. But the main twist of the movie is you think it escalates, right? Where like you don't really know who the individual like what the main bad guy is, like who he is. The main bad guy is Josh Hutcherson, right? He's the main guy running everything. And You don't really realize who he is until like the third act of the movie, but he's the president's son. He's the son of a female president who used the fishing money that he stole from all these elderly people to finance his mom's presidential campaign, right? So you get this, you start off and you think, oh, this is just like some, rich son of some guy. At first I thought he was Jeremy Irons' son. Like there's like this like guy who works in this company that's like, he clearly seems like he's like higher up in the totem pole than Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson acts like he's just like some shitbag employee there. But no, apparently he's the CEO who runs the company and was the mastermind behind getting his mom into the White House, Like, it was a bunch of fucking baloney. But, it goes from, like, Jason Statham, it turns out, his plot is not only to kill Josh Hutcherson, the president's son, but then also to kill the president of the United States. He's going to execute the queen because he's the queen slayer. Because when the queen gets bad and starts producing bad offspring, someone's got to come in and kill the queen. It was just fucking. The action was relatively well directed, but there was so much fucking flashing lights, and there was so much crypto bro talk. Like it feels like a movie that's about like 2 or 3 years out of date, because a lot of the crypto bro stuff peaked, I would say, around 2020, maybe 2021. It was still relatively relevant, but all the crypto bro shit is so fucking like, we're talking about NFTs and shit, which like nobody's talked about an NFT in a fucking while, I think. Like Josh Hutcherson was talking up to this girl at this party he's at, like, hey man, you into crypto? You buy this latest drop? You like NFTs? Man, I'll get you NFT. And like one of the guys he kills, like the manager at the call center who scammed this poor black lady out of all of her fucking money. He cuts that guy's fingers off, and then he like ties the guy to the truck, and then you see in the trailer the guy gets driven off the truck into the fucking water at this bridge. But this guy's like, man, I'll give you NFTs. If you want NFTs, I've got NFTs for you, man. Hey, settle down, I'm doing my movie review. You be quiet, bro. My review of The Beekeeper is as follows. It's slop. This is slop. It's sloppa. Okay? Whoever came up with the meme word sloppa was onto something genius, because this is what this fucking is. This movie is pure, undistilled slop, which has its benefits. Sometimes I want to just shove a bunch of slop right into my mouth. I want to go, oh, slop in my mouth! Slop in my mouth! Oh! And just eat up some bullshit. I thought The Beekeeper was pretty fucking good. By another friend who walked out of the movie theater because he was so fucking sick of the slop. Probably didn't see the end. Probably didn't even get to the point where he figures out that it's the president's son and that he's gonna fucking he's gonna try and execute the president of the United States. I think it's a shame he didn't kill the president. Jason Statham should have murdered the president in this movie. He did not murder the president. The president essentially just turned herself in and like resigned because she found out her campaign was financed by stealing money from old people, right? And like stealing money from charities and shit. And that's how the president got elected to the United States. That's how the president got elected. I don't know if it's a commentary on Hunter Biden or Dup. It could be either way. You could really read it as either way. But to me, The Beekeeper, I would give it out of 10. Look at my terrible hairline, Jesus. Out of 10, I would give The Beekeeper a solid 7 out of 10 slops. It's 7 out of 10 big ladles of slop, okay? It's one of the most funny movies I've seen in a long time. At least it's interesting. It's shit tier John Wick. John Wick, the first movie, people don't give enough credit for establishing and setting up a very good storyline and motivation for the character. They really make you care about the dog, and when they kill the dog, it's really fucking awful. There's no actual emotional attachment to the woman who gets ripped off. She's like on the screen for like 5 minutes or something. There's no build up, and then it's immediately into action and just escalates and escalates. But he gets away in the end, so there might be a Beekeeper sequel. But they're very clearly trying to do John Wick, but with Jason Statham. But the whole background and lore of it doesn't really make a lot of sense, and I don't really feel like the Beekeeper lore stuff can like build a franchise out of it. And the fucking main there's a lot of like it's like stuck between like being like the tone is very much like, trying to be like serious, but it feels like the writer wrote a lot of like quippy Marvel dialogue into it as well. It doesn't know what it fucking wants to be. It's confused. It's almost bipolar in its fucking editing and pacing and tone. Um, there's a ton of bee puns, and the bee puns are excellent. There's just like fucking random bees buzzing everywhere. Like, I don't think you understand. They're just like CGI bees in like shots throughout the movie. Like, he'll just have a bee buzzing around him for no reason, even though there's not supposed to be bees in the scene. Like, at this fucking beach house, the president's beach house, and then he like is escaping, and there's just a bee flies away on screen. It's a CGI bee. Why is there a CGI bee there? It's fucking a little stupid, a little stupid, a little sloppa, a little bit of some slop. It's fucking dishes and ladlefuls of slop going right into your fucking mouth. And maybe that sloppa has some honey laced in there. Maybe it's a little bit of a sweet slop. Sweet slop. Sweet slop. Yeah, there's a lot. The fucking editing of like the call centers feel like a YouTuber call center, right? It looks like it was like everyone in there is a YouTuber or like Mr. Beast. It's like the call centers are run by the scam call centers that take all the money from people are like run by Mr. Beast. They use like the fucking YouTuber fonts and stuff. Another thing, the font for the credits is like the fucking basic font in like Vegas Movie Maker. It's like the default font. It's like they didn't really think about what the credits would look like. It feels like a cheap. It's a fuck you. It's January movie. It's some cheap shit they threw out in the theaters. But will it succeed? Probably not. I thought it was pretty. I can't say it wasn't some dog shit. But man, he said the word "I'm gonna protect the hive." But the thing is, he said it's so deadpan. It wasn't like he was like trying to be like they try to make it sound like badass. They try to make the bee puns he's saying sound badass, but they're bee puns, right? Like the woman saying "You've been a busy little bee." It's supposed to be like serious and like cool, but it's puns about bees, right? And like he's talking about how he's gotta smoke the hornets out because he like has to kill the hornets that are like threatening the hive, Like, all of the one-liners supposed to be like the cool, like, John McClane one-liners, But they're dorky. They're corny-ass shit. That's some corny-ass shit, bro. Bruv, that's some corny-ass shit, bruv. I'm Jason Statham. I'm Jason Statham. I'm Jason Statham. And I'm gonna smoke out the hornets. I'm bald. I'm bald like Jason Statham. I'm bald. You get a lot of flies with honey, but you get a lot more honeys being fly. He doesn't say that, but he should have. He said something about he should have used honey. They should have said the fucking honeypot scheme or something. They didn't fully commit. They had a bunch of bee puns, but not enough. More bee puns, please. The fucking characters of the fucking fishing guy characters are so like cartoonishly retarded. It's hard to take it seriously. It's very difficult to take the guy seriously because like obviously most of the scam fishing things that happen are like Indian men or like Russian dudes in like their fucking bunker somewhere, There's not the crypto bros aren't doing this shit, But all the guys are like wearing these fucking like Gucci shirts, right? And like look fucking ridiculous. And the fucking president's Josh Hutcherson from Five Nights at Freddy's, Josh Hutcherson of Five Nights at Freddy's fame, known for nothing else, is the main villain and the president's son. And like the end of it is like he gets shot in the face, and then the president is like, "No, my son! No, my son! No, where's my son?" Because her son got murdered in front of her, but her son's like a corrupt, like fucking used the fact that he's the president's son to like get away with a bunch of evil shit. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It was you could say the Beekeeper. Some of the lines were I don't want to give it a sweet review. It's not sweet like honey. You know what I'm saying? It's not sweet like honey. Maybe you notice I've pollinated the review with plenty of jokes. But now, here comes the final stinging joke at the end. The stinging joke at the end. Because in the real world, villains aren't black and white. They're black and yellow. See, I should have been the writer for The Beekeeper. I can come up with way more bee puns. There's not a lot of buzz about this movie in the newspapers or online right now. Most people don't even know it exists. But I'm hoping we can drive up some, get some swarms into the audience, into the seats there. You know what I'm saying? Also, a review of the theater going experience where I live. There was some fucking Mexican dude on his phone talking the fucking whole time. And I had to go up and I fucking looked up and looked at him. He was like, man, he's on his phone talking with someone while in the theater. And right? And he's going like, oh, it's so sure. Or whatever, like, oh, it's Pablo Bailey, me llamo, I love Bailey, yeah. And like talking like weird shit, like during like the movie. And it's like, dude, you don't need to. Fucking step outside if you want to talk to someone. I'm fucking paying to see this goddamn movie in the theater. Be quiet. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, okay? Piss me the fuck off. Piss me the fuck off. Come on. There's literally 4 people in the theater, including, it's me, and then 2 other groups of 2 people. There's 5 people in the theater, and this guy's gotta fucking talk? Right? He's with a big group. Like, why? It's rude. And they're all looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? Like, what the fuck? Well, anyways, that's my review of The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham. Go see it while it's in the theaters. You may have a, I don't know, it was okay. You know, at least it was okay. It was a bit shit, bit sloppy, bit sloppa. My one friend walked out of the theater during it. I don't know if it was that bad, right? Maybe he just didn't get to the point where the twist was, you know, with the fucking intrigue of the real intrigue is that it escalates like up and up, like who the main villain is. Like it goes from being like this like scammy like CEO guy who has like the director of the CIA is working for him, whatever. They don't establish that the Josh Hutcherson is like the boss of the seat of Jeremy Irons. I thought it was the other way around. I thought Jeremy Irons was the boss and Josh Hutcherson worked for him, you know? But it takes a while to establish like who he is, and you don't really get that it's the president's son until later on. And then at that point, it's pretty. It's good. Like, oh, it's good stakes. You know, the president. You know, it's corruption in the White House or whatever. You can make a commentary. Maybe he's going to. I kind of read it as Hunter Biden is like who he was because he came off more as a Hunter Biden type character than a fucking Eric Trump type character. But you could read it either way. So either duck BTFO, bide up BTFO. But the most unrealistic thing in the movie was that a woman was president, which will never happen.